All right, so I'm here with Mike Morra. He's developing a game called Super Type, and it's pretty cool. I saw it on Facebook, and I really wanted to have him on the podcast to talk about it. So, how's it going, Mike?
So far, so good. My studio is actually super type. The game itself, I don't have a name solid yet picked, but so far it's something like Cinder or something along those lines. But
Oh, cool.
either way, same deal. Yeah.
So, yeah, you want to just introduce yourself a little bit?
My name is Mike. I'm from Toronto, and I've been doing game design and development for about probably like professionally, I'd say about 2 years now. And but just doing it, I found it, I guess, like into almost like 7 or 8 years now. I've been working with Unity. I actually found Unity randomly, downloaded it, and just got hooked pretty much. And I basically self-taught myself through like YouTube videos, that kind of stuff, for about a year and a half. But I saw that if I wanted to take this to the next level and I guess, take it to the professional level, I would have to um, get an education in it. So that's what I did. I ended up doing some research on it, found a private college by Trios, named Trios, and yeah, and the rest was history. It's a 2 year program. I completely blew it up. Never excelled like I did in this kind of a program, so that was a wonderful experience. But ended up getting hired there as a teacher and a tutor, so it went very well to say the least. But I feel like I definitely found my passion through that. And then I graduated that program, I believe last year, right before the pandemic, actually, thankfully, finished all that up. And then, yeah, I started working on, when the pandemic started. So I think that was like 9 or 10 months. No, actually, maybe even a year now. I lost track. It's been so long.
Yeah, I
I
think it's about a
started
year.
Yeah, right. I started this project, so that's basically as long as I've been working on it, about a year.
So, I want to
Yeah.
start, I want to go back to basically when you decided to get an education. And you said
hmm
you had been working on Unity for about, what, 5 years at that point? Or
I think at that point it would have been about 2 or 3. Yeah,
So the level you're
yeah.
at, I mean, you were pretty. I would assume you're probably about intermediate level.
At that point, that's the thing. At that point, that's the interesting thing about getting an education. At that point, you really don't have anything to compare it to because, like I said, I was self-teaching myself and whatnot. So I really didn't have like the standard of like where I was at, kind of thing. But once I did jump into school and get an education in it, it really opened my eyes to that being a completely different level.
And so if you have the opportunity, I'm sure like having that expert there, like to ask
hmm
specific questions. If you're having a specific issue with learning, like I guess how to implement some kind of algorithm or how to create some kind of function, then like you literally have
hmm
that any
Yeah,
question you want answered instead of having to like
exactly.
scour the internet and see like
hmm
what beginners, intermediate. You don't know what level this person is that comes up with whatever's on the
Exactly.
internet.
Exactly. So it was more so than the salt. Like, what I found more important than having someone there that more than likely has the knowledge. So if I have a bug or something, I can just show him and he'll be like, "Oh, it's this, blah blah blah," right? Not only that, they obviously teach me through that, so I do learn from that. But the main thing is the concepts, the mentality that comes with being a good or successful programmer, I guess. And that's kind of like for example, one of the great stories I heard from them, which alone taught me like some great ideas, was one of the studios. I think it was something like one of the studios that one of my teachers worked at. They had a teddy bear in a room, and the only point of that teddy bear was when people had issues or bugs or whatever, they were just supposed to go into that room and talk the problem out to the teddy bear. And just speaking the yeah, it sounds funny, but
No,
just
but yeah, I get
speaking.
it. I get it.
Yeah, no, you know what I mean? Just it's that whole mentality and that whole different approach. I feel was more valuable learning that than actually having someone that has the answers right there, right then and there.
So when you went to school, how so game development like programming is one thing, but then game design is like it's a whole nother monster. How were you at that
Yeah,
prior to
yeah.
that?
This was game design and development. So they cover, and this is one thing I was very happy with the program. They covered a lot of modern things, so stuff that was they aren't going to teach us a programming language that's obsolete, for example, right? Obviously. So everything was modern. It was all organized in a good way where they didn't start with something overly complicated and scare you off kind of thing. It eased you in. And yeah, it was a big thing with how they structured it basically. And yeah, they did really well with that. But they covered all their bases. That's kind of, I guess, the main thing. So they covered level design. They covered shoot. Let me see. It was quite a bit. Level design, the physics, math. That like boring stuff too, right? You have to cover the boring stuff, right, to get to the good stuff.
Right.
Along with the code, we studied JavaScript, C Sharp, C++, all the standards basically. It was a full program in that sense. It wasn't just the bare bones kind of thing, and they set us up with potential job opportunities and stuff towards the end. With my internship, they also got a couple guest speakers through the program to come in, and these people were like other indie developers that are like Twitch streaming and selling their own games. Basically, what we would want to do. They got them to come in and kind of talk about their journey, and that was really really cool. I actually got my internship with one of the guest speakers, so that was awesome. And we worked on a game, and then the virus hit, unfortunately, and that stopped us from being able to meet up in person. So we kind of put that game on the side, and unfortunately, I obviously passed the what do you call it, the internship with flying colors and all that stuff, but we didn't finish the game essentially. So I'm still in contact with her. We're still close, and I told her, when I'm done this game and stuff cools down, we should try again, basically. But yeah, it was great. It was really cool working with her.
I don't mind working on teams as long as I enjoy the company of the team or something. Yeah, you know what
Of
I'm saying?
course.
Like,
And you're all motivated the same, you're on the same page, that whole thing.
right.
Yeah.
It's not even just
That,
motivation.
yeah.
Like, I feel like I joined a team probably a couple months ago, but it's just like the personality clash, or like
Yeah.
the person who was trying to be the leader was kind of like a I don't know YouTube, but
Yeah, I
he's
know
kind of a
what you, yeah,
douchebag or
yeah.
something. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so it's just
I
like
know what you mean.
it doesn't vibe, and that can, even if he's the best programmer in the world, I don't want to even talk to someone that's like that.
Yeah,
There's no point.
that's the thing. Yeah, people don't realize that or mention it too much, but at the end of the day, a team is like a family, right? You're all trying to bring something to life, the same thing. You're a team. So you need to be on the same page, you need to have the same mentality, almost like the same brain waves. So if you aren't, yeah, basically like you said, yeah, if someone's a doucher, you're going to pick up on that, and it's going to ruin the rest of the vibe, and that will affect the project itself and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah.
I
You
think
got
the
a bit
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
a big part of that is communication. Of course, it's like a relationship. Yeah, it literally is. As dramatic as that is, it's a relationship you are making to create this thing.
I guess I started Unity about a year ago, and I mean I had looked
Awesome.
at programming, but like yeah, I had never really touched it. I feel like the closest I got was maybe doing like some HTML, CSS, which is not necessarily programming. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
no. It's its language in itself. Yeah, I see what you mean. It's along the same boat. Like you can catch similarities
right? I mean, you got there's
between,
syntax. I
right?
think JavaScript
Yeah,
is really
yeah,
the one.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be a closer representation. Yes.
Yeah, and
But yeah.
so after that, I mean, yeah, C Sharp was. I think I started with Unreal actually, but then I didn't
Oh,
like the
cool.
fact that blueprints like I didn't. There was no
Limited you.
real tutorials to expand beyond
Yeah.
just the blueprints.
Oh, that's another thing is thank the heavens for the documentation that Unity has, because with the limited time compared to the time I had with Unity that I've had with Unreal, and even just like reading forum posts involving Unreal stuff, there's a lot less going for Unreal in terms of documentation. Like people have a much harder time finding it. Sure, the standard stuff, like the standard stuff on their site, is obviously easy to find and whatnot, but like the extra stuff, like if you want to go in deeper and actually get into the deeper logic behind the coding and stuff, it's apparently tough to find. So I'm grateful I haven't had any super tough times with Unity, really.
I think you're doing good work on your zombie game. You have that's pretty awesome that you got commissioned to like help on this other game.
Yeah.
And so I mean
Yeah,
you're doing good
cool.
things in game development. It's pretty inspirational for people
hopefully,
who haven't done anything yet. So
yeah, hopefully, yeah, if I could inspire some people along the way, that'd be bonus, right?
yeah, man. And so thank you so much for coming on today. It's been a good
No
good
problem.
time, dude. Keep in
Awesome.
touch. Keep in touch.
Yeah, for sure, yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on. All right, bye.
No problem. Take it easy.